And these young philosophers were trained by a major, crucial figure of Romanian culture, Constantin Noica, who was arguably the greatest Romanian philosopher of the 20th century. A prodigy attracted first by poetry and literary writings, who in the early 30s received his major from the University of Bucharest with a thesis on Kant, and who also spent long research terms in Paris and Berlin in those years, while writing different scholarly studies on Descartes, Leibniz, and Kant. For only a very brief period of time, I should mention, from the summer of 1940 to the following winter, the young Noica expressed, to his later regret, his sympathies with the far-right legionary movement. However, he repudiated this traumatic episode, for which he also paid dearly during his time under house arrest from 1949 to 1958, and during his imprisonment under the communist regime from 1958 to 1964. After his release from prison, Constantin Noica worked intensely on some major topics of continental philosophy. He wrote on Hegel's logic and phenomenology, but also he translated a large amount of classical sources: Plato, Aristotle, Porphyry, Ammonius, Augustine, Descartes. A really major undertaking which dramatically changed the philosophical landscape, which was dominated at the time by the Marxist ideology. He also encouraged and privately trained, for free of charge, young scholars in the field of classical languages, Latin and Greek. This is what attracted Andrei Pleșu and Gabriel Iceanu with respect to the great personality and charisma of Constantin Noica. This possibility of bracketing the evil of history and entering into a greater, bigger conversation with the great minds of Western history of metaphysics, Plato, Aristotle, Kant, and Hegel, but also with other authors such as Cervantes, Goethe, and Nietzsche.